The text arrived during my afternoon shift at the Veterans Housing nonprofit. I was reviewing intake forms when my phone buzzed with the family group chat notification. My brother Marcus had sent a screenshot, a purchase agreement showing $1.4 million for the lake property. The property I'd bought 8 years ago for $480,000. The property in my name. The property he had absolutely no legal right to sell. Below the screenshot, the family reactions loaded in real time. Mom, so proud of your business mind. Dad, always knew Marcus would be the successful one. My sister Elena, can't wait to see the Tesla. Red right. Marcus again, closing Wednesday at 2 p.m. Buyers already hired contractors to start renovations Thursday. This is how you play the real estate game. I stared at my phone screen in the nonprofit's small office, the afternoon sun cutting through the blinds in sharp lines. 8 years. 8 years since I'd bought that property with my signing bonus from my first real job. 8 years of Marcus calling it your little cabin experiment. 8 years of family dinners where they'd say, still holding on to that money pit? The memory arrived with perfect clarity. Dad's living room Sunday dinner 2016. I'd just closed on the property. A lake house. Dad had laughed. You'll be eaten alive by property taxes and maintenance. This is why women need financial advisors. Marcus had nodded sagely. Real estate isn't for amateurs, sis. You'll learn. I hadn't argued. I'd learned early that defending yourself to people who'd already written the narrative was like trying to hold water in your hands. It just exhausted you. My phone buzzed again. Marcus, using the profit to finally start my tech company. Dad's investing too. This is what strategic asset management looks like. I took a screenshot of everything. Then I opened my email and searched for Prestige Title and Escrow. The company handling Marcus's fraudulent sale. I'd worked with them before. They'd handled all 7 of my property acquisitions over the past 8 years, including the lake house Marcus was currently flipping. I found what I needed, the CEO's email from last month. Margaret Chin had personally thanked me for organizing the annual Veterans Housing Gala, the event that had raised $340,000 for transitional housing. She'd given the keynote speech. We'd spent 20 minutes discussing her father's service in Vietnam and how programs like ours had helped him transition home. I drafted an email with the subject line, Urgent, Fraudulent Property Transaction 1247 Lakeside Drive. Attached, screenshots of Marcus's texts, a copy of my original deed, 8 years of property tax receipts in my name, and the purchase agreement Marcus had sent showing his forged signature as owner. I hit send at 4:47 p.m. Tuesday. Margaret Chin called my personal cell at 6:15 p.m. Jessica. Her voice was professional but warm, the same tone from the gala. I'm looking at the transaction file for Lakeside Drive right now. The closing is scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. I know, I said quietly. My brother sent the family a celebration text this afternoon. The seller's signature on our documents. She paused. It's not your signature, is it? No. The silence stretched for 3 seconds. In the background I heard papers shuffling. I'm pulling your file history with us right now, Margaret said. You purchased this property in 2016. You've never listed it for sale. You've never granted power of attorney to Marcus Chin or anyone else. Correct. And he's claiming ownership based on? More paper sounds. A quitclaim deed dated last month that was supposedly notarized in Florida while you were. Let me check. Speaking at a nonprofit conference in Seattle. Your hotel receipts are in our file from your last refinancing application. I was in Seattle, I confirmed. I have the conference agenda, boarding passes, and about 200 witnesses. Margaret's exhale was sharp. Jessica, I'm suspending this transaction immediately. I'm also filing a fraud report with the county recorder's office and notifying the buyers that there's a title defect. This sale is not happening. What about Marcus? What about him? Her voice went cold. He attempted to forge documents and defraud a buyer of nearly $1.5 million. I'm referring this to the district attorney's office. The buyers may also have civil claims against him for their costs and damages. I should have felt satisfaction. Instead, I felt the weight of 8 years settling across my shoulders like a familiar coat. Margaret, I said carefully. At the gala last month you said your father struggled when he came home. That programs like ours gave him dignity when the world had written him off. I remember. My family wrote me off the day I bought that lake house. Every property I acquired, every investment I made, they called it foolish, reckless, a waste of money. The lake house was my first purchase. It represents the moment I decided their narrative didn't define my reality. How many properties do you own now? Margaret asked quietly. 7. All paid off. The lake house, 2 rental duplexes, a small commercial building, and 3 residential properties I'm renovating for affordable housing conversions. The silence on her end told me she understood. The nonprofit where I work, I continued, operates out of one of my buildings. Rent-free. The Veterans Gala that raised $340,000? I matched it personally. My family doesn't know any of this. They think I work a cute charity job and waste money on mediocre real estate. Jessica, Margaret's voice was soft now. I'm so sorry. Don't be. You're helping me right now. You're seeing what they refuse to see, that the paperwork tells the truth even when families lie. The closing is cancelled, Margaret said firmly. I'll handle the buyers, the agents, everyone. You don't have to do anything except exist as the rightful owner. Which you are. Thank you. No, she said. Thank you for trusting us to handle your investments over the years. And thank you for the gala. My father died 6 months before that event. Seeing what you've built for other veterans, it mattered. After we hung up, I sat in the nonprofit office as sunset turned the room amber. I thought about the ghost ledger, the accounting that never appears on balance sheets. I opened a new spreadsheet and titled it, The Cost of Being Underestimated. Line 1. Sunday Dinner 2016. Marcus, real estate isn't for amateurs. Cost. The confidence to speak about my success for 8 years. Never recoverable. Line 2. Christmas 2017. Dad, still throwing money at that cabin? Cost. The joy of sharing my rental income success. Never refilled. Line 3. Easter 2019. Mom, when will you find a good man to manage your finances? Cost. The assumption that I was capable. Never reimbursed. Line 4. Thanksgiving 2021. Elena, at least Marcus knows what he's doing with investments. Cost. The recognition for acquiring properties 3, 4, and 5. Never acknowledged. Line 5. Family Reunion 2023. Marcus, let me explain how real estate actually works. Cost. The dignity of expertise I'd earned. Never restored. Line 6. Every family photo where they grouped the successful ones and excluded me. Cost. Belonging. Never offered. 8 years of invisible labor. 8 years of being the punchline to jokes about my cute hobbies. 8 years of proving something to people who'd decided proof didn't matter. I understood something then, sitting in that amber light. Family isn't who shares blood. Family is who shows up when blood isn't enough. And my family had been showing me exactly who they were for 8 years. I'd just been too busy hoping they'd change to accept it. My phone buzzed. Marcus, celebrating early. Dad and I are at Morton's Steakhouse. Elena's flying in tomorrow to see the Tesla dealership. This is what winning looks like. Bottle with popping cork. I didn't respond. Wednesday 2 p.m. The scheduled closing time. Marcus called my phone 17 times between 2 o'clock and 2:45 p.m. I was in a meeting with the nonprofits board, reviewing expansion plans for our housing program. I let every call go to voicemail. At 3:30 p.m. I checked the voicemails. Message 1, 2:03 p.m. Hey, the title company is saying there's some problem with the paperwork. Can you call them? It's probably just a clerical thing. Message 5, 2:18 p.m. Jessica, this isn't funny. They're saying the signature doesn't match. Obviously it matches. Just call them and confirm. Message 11, 2:31 p.m. The buyers are threatening to sue me for fraud. This is insane. You need to fix this now. Message 17, 2:44 p.m. Dad's lawyer says we need to talk. Call me immediately. I deleted all 17 messages. Thursday morning, Margaret Chin sent me a detailed email with the subject line, Transaction Closure and Legal Proceedings. The buyers had withdrawn their offer and filed a complaint with the Real Estate Commission against Marcus's agent for failing to verify ownership. The agent trying to save his license had provided all communications with Marcus, including texts where Marcus explicitly stated he'd handle his sister, and she won't be a problem. The county recorder's office had flagged the forged quitclaim deed. Their investigation revealed Marcus had paid a notary $500 to backdate and falsify the notarization, claiming I'd signed in Florida when I was in Seattle. The notary, facing felony charges, had cooperated immediately and provided evidence. The district attorney's office had opened a criminal investigation for forgery, fraud, and attempted grand theft. Marcus's potential charges: 2 to 4 years in state prison. The notary he'd bribed, already pleading guilty, facing disbarment and 18 months. Friday afternoon, my phone rang from an unknown number. I answered. Jessica Chin? A professional male voice. Speaking. This is Detective Williams with the County District Attorney's Fraud Division. I'm investigating the attempted fraudulent sale of your property at 1247 Lakeside Drive. Do you have time to provide a statement? I had time. The interview took 90 minutes. I provided everything. The original purchase documents, 8 years of tax payments, the timeline of my Seattle trip with boarding passes and hotel receipts, screenshots of Marcus's celebratory texts, and the email exchange with Margaret Chen. Detective Williams was thorough. Your brother stands to face multiple felony counts: forgery, fraud, attempted grand theft. The buyers are also pursuing civil damages for their inspection costs, contractor deposits, and moving expenses. We're talking significant prison time and financial liability. I understand. Do you want to press charges? I thought about the ghost ledger. 8 years of invisible cost. Yes, I said. I want to press charges. Miss Chin, Detective Williams said carefully, I have to ask. Your real estate portfolio is impressive. 7 properties, all paid off, substantial equity. Your nonprofit work is well documented. Why didn't your family know about any of this? The question hung in the air like smoke. Detective, I said finally, I learned a long time ago that some people need you to be small so they can feel large. I tried being small for them. It nearly destroyed me. So I built something they couldn't see. And when they tried to steal what they couldn't see, the paperwork told the truth they refused to acknowledge. He was quiet for a moment. That's the saddest thing I've heard all week. It's the freest thing I've said in 8 years. The legal proceedings moved with procedural efficiency. Week 1. Criminal charges filed. Marcus arrested at his apartment. Bond set at $50,000. He posted bond using Dad's money. Week 2. Preliminary hearing. Evidence presented: forged deed, falsified notarization, text messages showing premeditation. Marcus's public defender requested a plea deal. Denied. Week 3. Grand jury indictment. 3 felony counts: forgery, fraud, attempted grand theft. Marcus's trial date set for 8 weeks out. Week 4. Buyers filed civil lawsuit. $47,000 in damages. Inspection costs, contractor deposits, moving company fees, temporary housing expenses, and emotional distress. Week 5. Real estate agent's license suspended pending review. Agent filed lawsuit against Marcus for destroying his reputation. Week 6. Marcus's employer, a financial services firm, placed him on unpaid administrative leave pending resolution of criminal charges. Week 7. Dad called me for the first time in 8 years of property ownership. You need to drop these charges. He's your brother. I said, he's a felon who tried to steal nearly $1 million from me. Dad, family forgives. Me, family doesn't commit forgery. I hung up. Week 8. Marcus's public defender negotiated a plea agreement. Guilty plea to 1 count of felony fraud. Sentencing: 3 years in state prison, suspended to 18 months with 5 years probation. Restitution to buyers: $47,000. Court costs: $12,000. Permanent felony record. Marcus accepted the plea. 6 months later, I stood in the ballroom of the Riverside Hotel, same venue as last year's Veterans Gala. This year's event had grown. 400 attendees. 2 county commissioners. The mayor. Margaret Chin gave the opening remarks again, this time talking about how programs built on genuine care create lasting change. My phone buzzed during the silent auction. A text from Elena. Marcus is struggling. He lost his job. Can't find work with the felony. Can you help? I looked at the message for a long moment. Then I typed, I helped by ensuring the legal system operated correctly. That's all the help I have to offer. I blocked her number. The gala raised $680,000 that night. I matched it the next day, same as last year. My 7 properties had appreciated by an average of 18% annually. The lake house Marcus tried to steal was now worth $1.7 million. I'd started acquisition discussions on Property 8, a small apartment complex that could be converted into permanent supportive housing for veterans. My family didn't know about the gala, the matching donation, or Property 8. They wouldn't. The narrative they'd written about me had nothing to do with the life I'd actually built. Standing in that ballroom surrounded by people who showed up when showing up mattered, I understood something I'd spent 8 years learning. Revenge isn't rage. It's surviving their dismissal so well that when they finally tried to take what you built, the paperwork itself became your defender. The account is closed. The balance is 0. And I am finally in the black. From the 7 fortresses I fought to protect, my future begins now.